Although it is small, it is lethal. Learn everything there is to know about the world's most dangerous and lethal insects, from those that transmit disease to those that sting and swarm in large numbers. Among the top 10 most dangerous insects, there are a great number of potential candidates. The most deadly group of creatures in the world to humans are actually insects. Forget about great white sharks and grizzly bears. Insects are the most dangerous group of animals. The fact that they are so skilled at carrying and spreading deadly infections such as malaria and Black Death is a significant contributor to this phenomenon. Because many insect species feed on vertebrates' blood, they are in a convenient position to transmit pathogenic germs, viruses, and parasites from one victim to another, and frequently from animals to humans. This list of deadly insects will include those that can carry diseases, those that can kill through toxic stings and bites, and even those that can harm our crops. Significant historical events, such as the spread of terrible diseases and the expansion of colonial territories, have been associated with insects, and these events have influenced the evolution of our own species. It is true that size can be deceiving. Number 10. Blister beetles. Despite the fact that this has the potential to be lethal to people, it is not actually lethal because you would need to consume a significant number of them. Horses are the animals they are most likely to kill because they can entangle themselves in the hay or alfalfa they consume. Blister beetles blister human skin because they release a poison known as cantharidin, which also serves as a protective agent. But in the past, people used it as a folk medicine, believing it to be effective against warts and even rabies. However, this substance was most commonly used as an aphrodisiac. It has played a significant role in love potions in the past. However, this was a risky economic venture because the toxin is still capable of killing in sufficient quantities. In the 1950s, a man received a prison sentence for the murders of 2 women he had seduced with cantharidin-containing sweets. Number 9. Locusts. In and of themselves, locusts are not very frightening or deadly. After all, they are only a species of grasshopper. However, the impact that they have can be rather frightening. They can congregate in numbers comparable to those in the Bible under certain conditions, traversing landscapes, devouring fields, and destroying crops in a matter of minutes. A period of drought, followed by a period of quick rainfall and the growth of plants, is what causes these swarming phases, which transform the ordinarily solitary insect into a mass of millions of individuals together. They are forced to congregate on the remaining areas of vegetation as a result of the drought, and the rainfall and accompanying abundance of food enable them to reproduce quickly, generating the ideal storm. The severe damage that such swarms can inflict on agricultural crops can result in starvation, which in turn can cause a significant number of deaths among humans. Number 8. Assassin caterpillar. This caterpillar is responsible for a lot of deaths despite the fact that its name gives the impression that it has killed more people than it actually has. The larval stage of the gigantic silkworm moth, also known as the caterpillar, is the world's most dangerous caterpillar. The bristles that are responsible for injecting venom and serving as a defensive mechanism against predators are the source of its neurotoxicity. When a bristle punctures the skin of a victim, the venom pours through a sac that is located at the base of each hollow bristle. The sac retains the venom. These toxins have anticoagulant qualities, which means that they interfere with the normal clotting process of the blood. A burning sensation, vomiting, kidney failure, internal bleeding, and even death in extremely rare instances are some of the effects of this condition. Number 7. Fire ants. The terrifying fire ants are an additional category of insects that can cause fatalities in humans through anaphylaxis. These stinging ants, belonging to the Solenopsis genus with over 200 species, clamp down on their victim's skin and inject a potent and excruciating venom. Some individuals are fatally allergic to this venom. The majority of people, on the other hand, will suffer a burning sensation and elevated pustules at the location of the sting. This is the worst that can happen. Number 6. Asian giant hornet. In recent years, the world's largest species of wasp has caused concern due to predictions that it could become an established invasive species in the United Kingdom and the United States of America. These fears continue to be false despite the fact that the wasp is also known as the murder hornet. It is true that they can be hazardous to humans for the same reason as honeybees are, but it is not people that they are likely to kill. Rather, it is bees that they are likely to kill. The reason for its cruel appellation is that it is seen as aggressive. In addition to feeding on other insects, these hornets have the remarkable ability to wipe out entire hives of honeybees. After they have eliminated the worker bees to the point that the workforce is severely depleted, they enter the hive and take the larvae along with them. Number 5. Bees and wasps. Insects that are harmful, venomous, or poisonous enough to be fatal to humans are extremely uncommon, with the exception of those that carry diseases. However, the order Hymenoptera, which includes bees, wasps, and ants, is one of the most lethal groups of insects and is responsible for a significant number of fatalities. In extremely rare instances, bee stings can be fatal. If you are one of the few people who have experienced an anaphylactic allergic reaction, you are among the fortunate few who have experienced this form of reaction. Number 4. Kissing bugs. Insects belonging to the Triatominae subfamily are known as kissing bugs. The Americas are the primary habitat for these insects, with smaller populations also found in certain regions of Africa and Asia. Because they consume vertebrates' blood, they are susceptible to transmitting bacteria, viruses, and parasites from one food source to another. They share similarities with the other disease carriers on this list. The parasite Trypanosoma cruzi, which is responsible for the dreadful ailment known as Chagas disease, is the disease-causing agent that is of significance in this particular instance. Chagas disease infects 6.5 to 7 million people worldwide, leading to approximately 10,000 fatalities annually. Number 3. Fleas. It is imperative that we do not overlook the simple flea when we are discussing the deadly insects that are carriers of sickness and death. The flea is possibly the most well-known example of a disease vector in the history of disease transmission. Fleas were responsible for the deaths of more than 25 million individuals in Europe during the 14th century. They were responsible for conveying the bubonic plague infection from sick rodents to humans. In fact, fleas are such useful vectors for the transmission of diseases that they have even been employed in biological warfare. Fleas infected with the plague were thrown from the sky by the Japanese army into Chinese cities during World War II. Number 2. Set's fly. It has been suggested that it has played a role in hampering the process of human settlement in large swaths of Africa and in slowing the progression of European colonialism on the continent. This is because it is a carrier of a poisonous ailment known as sleeping sickness. Similar to malaria, a single-cell parasite transmits it through a bite. This condition, named because it often leads to death without treatment, manifests symptoms such as fever, severe headaches, seizures, and disruption of the sleep cycle. Number 1. Mosquito. Even though it is a relatively small animal, it has a significant influence. Mosquitoes have not only been responsible for more human deaths than any other animal, including ourselves, but they have also played a significant role in shaping human history by causing the rise and fall of colonies and empires. On the other hand, the parasites, germs, and viruses that mosquitoes carry and transmit through their bites are the ones that are responsible for the deaths of humans. In general, mosquitoes are responsible for transmitting a wide variety of fatal diseases, ranging from yellow fever to dengue fever. However, females of the Anopheles genus exclusively transmit malaria, the disease with the highest death toll. In the year 2021, it is anticipated that 619,000 people will have lost their lives due to the sickness known as malaria, which is caused by a single-celled parasite that is transmitted through the bloodstream. Would you like it? Hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more interesting and informative videos.